really good. Feels really good.
Oh shit.
Ruh-roh.
So when you pulled me over,
Yeah.
it felt better than when I'm like pulling over this way.
What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and today we are going to talk about my left bicep.
What? It's coming back?
It's coming back.
Oh,
you
shit.
may have seen that it has been back on the table as of recently, and we just wanted to go over sort of where it's at right now. I had an update with the doctor earlier this week.
3 months post-surgery,
Yeah,
post-bicep tear, post-Devon destruction.
Put your thumbs, put your hands, go!
Yep. So things are feeling pretty good, and he was pretty happy. So we just want to go over sort of what he said, what I'm going to be doing moving forward, how the right arm pumpkin training is going. You may have seen we had a little park session with Devon.
Yep.
Throw a card up in the window, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Pumpkin training definitely paying off.
Yes, honestly. But don't take too much from that session. Devon loves to make everyone look good, and he's just trying to get a workout in. So I know someone's in our last video was like, "Oh, Devon looked like he was training really hard here against these guys."
He's always pushing it,
Yeah.
and that was probably like I think that was his third or fourth practice within like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So again, it's everything's relative.
Yes.
But the right arm is feeling good. The pumpkin training has definitely been helping, and now that the left arm is healthier and able to train, we're going to be making some adjustments. So that's what we want to talk about today.
Right. So what did the doctor say?
So first thing, doctor was really happy with the scarring and the structure, everything, like the way that you can actually see like the form. It's not too deformed or anything. So he was really happy with all that. And then the main thing that he checked was rotational strength. So he said like rotationally felt really strong, which probably just because I train it so much as an arm wrestler. Like for the average person, it was probably decent. But for me, what I feel, my supination feels totally disconnected. Like if I go low multi-spinner, I'm like all shaky and stuff with the supination side of things. Pronation feels pretty good. In the beginning, when it was healing, pronation was what was really sore. But now that feels really good. And anyway, so he said that what I can start doing now is start to ramp it up, start to lift heavy. I can't do anything plyometric, so he said nothing really explosive. So that's why I won't be like doing any ready goes or anything with it for at least a couple months still. My next checkup with him is in 3 months, which would be the 6-month mark. And he said basically at that point I should be 100% ready to go do whatever it is that I want to do. So what did I feel on the table? Let's talk about that, right? Because there were some angles on the table that all of a sudden came out like, whoa, this feels really good.
Yeah, first of all, you look really smooth, like you hadn't lost any of the motor control.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing. Maybe that's just because you were arm wrestling on your that too, and you were arm wrestling on your right all the time, so it's easier to transfer motions.
Yeah.
But yeah, your left arm in like the defensive hook just up here just felt rock solid.
Yeah.
Both me and Mike went 100% in that direction, and Dustin as well.
And all three of them had been training, and I was going lightly with my left arm. So you guys were obviously had a little bit of fatigue set in, but the gap felt way bigger than it should have, considering.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially like when Dustin really like he got in a spot, and I said, okay, like really go, and that was the one where I really felt like, wow, this feels like something kind of special. And then also rolling Mike, like getting up and actually rolling through my pronation just felt more comfortable than I remember it feeling. Again, maybe that's just because things are healed up and it's fresher like the other parts of my arm, but there's definitely something in that connection when the elbow is tight that feels really good.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make sense for it to have gotten stronger, right? Because you weren't training it heavy at all.
No, nothing heavy.
Or arm wrestling, so
Yeah.
it's kind of odd that you would still be at a level where you can pronate through his hand.
Yeah.
So I think that is due to the recovery
due to the connection.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's you're not going to be able to see it in the video, but just if I explain it, showing it to you, is the bicep tendon is, if I feel it, first of all, it's a lot thicker now on this side, and it's way up here. Like the tendon connects into my arm going like this. And on this arm, it's down here, so it's connecting like down here. So it's that much of a difference, it feels like, to this side, which again, if you just do your research on it, that's a big difference in leverage of how far it is actually down my forearm, which is obviously an advantage. I did tell the doctor, make that motherfucker as low as possible.
And he moved it over a little bit.
I think that's part of how it. I think that's part of how it has to go. But yeah, it is definitely. It's definitely like higher. It's higher up this way and further down my arm.
So maybe that's why the supination feels a little unstable and pronation feels good.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Yeah, because it's more over this side, so it's like pulling the pronation tighter, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're nerding out now on that one, but that is what feels better. What does not feel good is having my arm open. So where I used to feel real happy out here, I do not feel comfortable out there anymore. As soon as my arm gets past here, I can really start to feel the tenderness in my bicep. Now that might just be fatigue. Maybe that'll come back after I'm able to train it and stuff. But the bottom line is that in here, I feel really, 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 really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Just hoping that actually translates as we continue to heal and as I continue to strengthen my left arm. I was left-handed like when this did happen, so this arm should come back strong. The coordination is there. Like I feel the mind-muscle connection hasn't changed. Nothing's been lost there. So that's all really good.
So going forward, training, what's going to change?
Yeah.
Because obviously you now have a match in 2 weeks.
Yes.
On your right arm.
Yep.
And but left arm is not going to have any matches for a while.
No. So the plan, so basically up until this arm was good to train again, I've been pulling hard with this arm as much as possible, training it in the gym a lot. And up until it was the week before my actual doctor's checkup that I started doing like light bodybuilding type exercises where I was actually using both hands together again. But I went really, really light that week because A, I pulled really hard, so I needed the recovery on my right arm. But B, I didn't want to push it because I knew I was having my appointment next week. It wasn't like a good idea to go stupid and then tweak something. Yeah. But once he gave me the green light, basically, so now the training that I'm doing with the weights, we're going to be putting out a video on programming later this week, which is going to kind of go over the basic structure of the program that I'm following now. And
the program that I'm also going to follow.
Yeah. But the idea is basically it's a lot of like power building, basic barbell movements with your arm wrestling separate from that. So what I'm doing now is my right arm is going to be basically getting the rest, and my left arm is going to be getting the focus. So in table sessions like this past weekend and next weekend, I won't pull with my right arm because like Alex said, I have a match coming up. So I have a match on the 31st with my right arm, and then there's a tournament, the PAL tournament that I want to compete at on August 28th. So the plan for my right arm will be basically taper and peak for the 31st, then maybe 1 week of heavier training, and then taper and peak again for the 28th. And that kind of 2 months of taper and peak should give it the rest that it needs to make up for all the pumpkin training I did.
And it'll give you time to work on the left arm and bring that back up so you can compete in a couple of months, 2-3 months with the left arm, hopefully way stronger.
And hopefully, like Alex said, with those 2 months, if I can rest the right arm plus bring the left arm back up, by the time the PAL tournament is over, I should be able to go back to training relatively heavy with 2 arm movements, both arms kind of hopefully relatively even at that point. And that'll be, should be about a month and a half, 2 months before I would be able to compete with my left. So it'll be kind of like, okay, now we ramp up and get ready to pull on the left by bringing both arms to the table at the same time.
Yeah, so that's fucking awesome. Super happy that the left arm is coming back, and you've already found a spot where you're strong. There are some weaknesses, but you're going to spend a lot of time working on that in the months forward. But it's good to know that you don't have to start from ground zero.
No, exactly. And it's really interesting that the place that I found this strength now is something I didn't have on my left before. Like inside and hook position on my left was nowhere near my strongest spot. So it's just interesting that has changed as well. As we said, or as we like to say all the time, we like to work our weaknesses. So thank you, Devin, for breaking my weakness and making it come back stronger than ever, hopefully.
Yeah, so, please come back and break mine.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I think, well, we'll see.
Well, it might happen anyways.
I know.
But if you like this video, please like the video, feedback in the comments.
Subscribe, smash that bell, do all those things, and...
Monkeys out.
Peace.